talking about hockey. Two bald guys talking about hockey. Two bald guys and they're 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 talking about hockey. And they're bald. And there's hockey. Hockey. And there's a bearded guy who likes Connor Geeky. Hey, we are here. We are streaming live, and we are talking about I keep wanting to say the Metro. We're talking about the Central Division tonight. We were trying to get Neil from Nashville, and unfortunately, Neil is unavailable tonight. So we had to bring in, unfortunately,
Wow.
or fortunately, we brought in switch hitter, or sorry, what's the term in baseball? A pinch hitter. Sorry, pinch hitter, Zach, GM of the Seattle. You all know who Zach is. If you haven't made a trade with him yet, sign up tomorrow.
You haven't been in a league.
Yeah,
I know. I think there's a few
we're
teams I made a
revoking
trade
your
with.
ability to be in the league.
I think there's a few teams I made a trade with. There has to be.
So, Steve, I'm sorry, but I have to correct you. Connor Geeky does not play for the Seattle Kraken.
Wrong Geeky. That's
Morgan Geeky plays for
You know what's
Seattle.
funny is I caught it like half a second after I said it,
Yeah.
and I was hoping no one would notice. But thank you for pointing it out, Jean.
Well, Jean
It's
is
the
the
prospect
brains
guy
of the
in me, right?
operation.
Exactly. You remember, I'm the brains.
John's the
Yes.
brains.
You're the looks.
I am not the brains. I fully acknowledge that I am not the brains of this organization. Although I will say I am the tech wizard, and I don't even have to be that good to be the tech wizard.
No.
There's no competition with Jean.
Talking to Chris from Chicago today, texting him, and he was having issues with the site, and I'm like, the only thing that I could say that I didn't want to sound too smart, because I'm not, was like, are you signed in? Because he's having a hard time setting up his depth chart. And I'm like, or are you trying to do it from your phone? Because I know it's not working. That's the extent of the things I could do to help him. So.
Okay, so I have just posted the link for everyone to come watch us play. And I even actually, for the first time in a while, got the title of the episode correct. So I didn't have to change it after the fact. So yay me. Okay, so we are talking Central Division tonight. Is there anything we want to talk about before Central Division tonight?
Just a quick update on the housekeeping.
Oh Lord,
We still have some teams that have not, completed their the housekeeping. I've reached out to every team that I could not see had responded today, so I think we're gonna get there by the end of the week.
I hope so, because preseason games are on right now. Update the score for me there, Jean, of the game in your room.
So right now it's still 3-1 Ottawa against the Leafs.
Yes.
Leafs suck.
Are you a Leaf fan, Zach? You're not a Leaf fan.
Not a chance.
Okay. I know you're like me. You live north of Toronto.
One more thing.
Montreal Canadiens.
Yes, I knew that. One more thing. Flax mentioned to me last couple of years, and I think I want to do it this year, is anybody that lives in the Ottawa-Gatineau area, this Flax wants to organize a night out to go see the Gatineau Olympics. So we're going to pick a couple games posted on the site and see if you can make it. You can make it. And,
if you pick something over March break, I could head up.
Well, I was thinking of doing it early, but we can absolutely go through in March break.
So okay, well, you don't have to just go once, too, right? You guys.
Exactly. But so it'd be October, November, like early November, late October that I'm thinking of. So,
Cool. Some of us work on weekends.
Right.
I was at a conference yesterday and then worked in the morning this morning. So sucks to be me. Anyway, I'd much rather talk about the Central Division, if you don't
Yes.
mind. And where is my Central Division here? There we go. And what happened here? There we go. Central Division.
Yeah.
You want to just dive right into it? First team, Chicago.
Yep,
Chicago
Chicago.
Blackhawks. Do it.
I will say this for I guess Chris, well, and everyone. I was really surprised at how much improved Chicago was going into this season.
Yeah.
And I think we both have them up higher than what we thought we would going into the season.
Yep. I agree. It's I think they're much better than like that. There's a lot of depth. I don't think there's any star power in Chicago, but much better. So
They
it's
have plenty of cash and they have cap space too.
yeah. He's got cap space and he's got money and he still has his first round pick. So
So we'll do team future first.
yep.
Okay. He still has his first round pick. Not everyone on this call can say that.
For a few years.
Does it count
For a
that
few
John
years.
has mine though? Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So prospects wise,
He's looking pretty decent.
I'm
Listen,
not loving it, to be honest.
no?
Gabe, I'm not a big Gabe Perreault fan. I don't know.
I wasn't at the draft. But he turned out like he's turning out to be much better than I expected him to develop. And I'm a big fan of Brunicki. Then the rest of it, then I like Kleber. As you know, I like defensemen with size. The
Yeah.
rest of it is just depth to me.
Yeah.
What do you
I
think?
did
Zach?
like Lucas Dragicevic when I'm not going to just say he's drafted shit players because he hasn't. He's drafted some guys that were definitely players that I like. One guy that I know Jean won't like that I liked was William Whitelaw.
I was just gonna say that I'm a fan of Whitelaw too.
He's a little tiny guy, but if
has
he does make
potential.
it to the NHL, he's going to be good. I think just will he match up with the NHL? And I don't know.
I think another guy there, if people don't really have their heads high, is Harvey. Harvey and Furlong.
Harvey? You mean Jack Harvey or Jake Furlong?
Sorry, I was thinking about. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, Jake Furlong. Sorry. I think he has a lot of potential. He's a
Okay.
decent defenseman prospect.
I think Bednarik was a good pick at 59 this year. Could be a
But
third
nothing
line.
really jumps out. Like I
No.
think that's what we're saying is nothing really jumps
I
out.
think he's got potential depth players.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll look at finances here.
He loses a lot of guys
Tyler
next year.
Seguin. Like, I don't know, man. It'll be good to have that 10 million come off the books, I think, this year. Like
Especially with the cap going up a couple million this year too. I think
Yeah.
he'll be fine to sign some decent guys.
Yeah, he doesn't. Besides Seguin, he's not losing anybody of value. Like
He's just losing a lot of his depth guys.
Yeah.
Ian
about it.
Cole and Joel Armia can be easily replaced.
Yeah.
No big name. Any big name RFAs?
no,
No.
well,
Yeah, I don't think so.
no.
I mean, is Jake DeBrusk?
Well, Colton, DeBrusk, and Kempe are going to get a raise, but nothing to say that is going to be, a hindrance to his team.
Yeah.
Especially since he's going to have $44 million to spend to the cap next year. So,
Okay, and we'll check his lines. I will say this at the start. The worst division so far for getting their depth charts done is the Central, but
Oh, there's
not
only one
Chicago.
team left.
I thought I looked at when I looked there were like two or three.
St. Louis, St. Louis doesn't
Oh,
have
St.
theirs done.
Louis. And he said he was going to try to get it done tonight.
So this team has some good depth, but just not anything big at the top of the lineup.
That's why I say I don't know. I don't see them doing as good as what you guys think. I can't see it.
It's I think there's a lot of depth. There's just not a lot of high end talent there.
Yeah. Well, and it's the same thing with his D car, right? Like he's got 6 solid D, but none
Yeah.
of them should be a top pair defenseman,
No,
right?
I think Pesci should be higher rated than that, than an 82.
There's a few of those when I was looking today at all of the divisions where it was like, wow, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Okay, but and goaltending though, I don't know. I think this is a team that's going to be. We'll talk about the rankings later, but I think this is a team that if they ended up making the playoffs, I don't think that would be the biggest surprise we've ever had in the DCHL.
No, I agree.
So, okay, so moving on, or
But, Zach doesn't agree with us. He thinks
well,
they're not as good
I
as.
and I don't know. I honestly I think between him and Chicago and St. Louis will be it's gonna be a fight for the bottom. I think.
I don't think it'll be a fight for the bottom. I think one team has got that pretty much sewn up in my mind, but we'll talk about that later. Colorado, pretty much a cap team, decent amount of cash sitting there, 21 million. I I know this is going to be one of the teams where Jean and I have a good disagreement on, and it's good because we've had 2 weeks of basically a love fest between the two of us on agreeing on everything. So I think today the gloves are going to be dropped, and we're gonna have at her there, Jean.
Like round one's gonna go to Jean.
Oh, you think so? You think so? Okay, so we'll go to Team Future. This has been a team that, okay, well, he hasn't even done his prospects, or has he?
No.
Really? Maybe they're
Bad.
not rated.
Or maybe like I don't know. Maybe some of these guys weren't rated.
No,
I don't
Owen
know.
Lard, I
Was
think,
Max
is
Graham
rated.
rated?
No.
Okay, so maybe we'll cut him some slack. I don't know. Owen Allard has to be rated.
No.
What? Come on, Owen Allard. He wasn't like some nobody. Anybody else here that they should know about?
Harrison, I don't even know how to say his last name's not rated. The goalie there, he's
Brendan
not
Ali?
rated.
Benigin? Yeah.
Yeah, none of his 2024 guys are rated. Austin Baker's not rated either.
So besides Carson Rakoff,
I think next closest would probably be Byam, probably. Jay Byam would probably be his next.
doesn't have a lot of depth.
No.
But he hasn't done a lot of drafting the last few years, right? So like he's definitely one of the weaker teams, and like in
future,
certainly in prospects coming forward. So not much to say here. We can just skip ahead here to where we going. We're going to finances.
He loses one. He loses his top player this year, and
Roman Josi. And I think that's going to be like you're going to be happy to drop that 13 million. I think you can do better with that cap space than what Roman Josi was a top defenseman when this was signed. But I don't know that he's worth 13 million now.
Still a top defenseman. So
Thomas Chabot, what's his NHL deal? It's got to be like 6 or 7 million, right?
It's 8 million. It's there was retention on the last trade. This is the trade that we talked about. That was a three-way
Oh, that's
trade,
three-way, yeah.
Utah and Boston. And where no, Toronto. Toronto,
Toronto
Utah,
retained.
and Colorado, and Toronto retained some money as the broker.
Oh, that's right. That was that trade. Okay.
But
I
yeah,
remember.
Jean was right. Shabbat's NHL contract's 8 million.
So
Okay,
next
so-
year it's gonna go up.
Yeah.
But and Larkin's going up.
And he's going to sign the full 5 years. Although Shabbat's been pretty banged up the last few years. So,
But I heard this summer that he's had a wrist issue since the start of last year. Or no, 2 years ago. Not last year, 2 years ago.
And
when he
it's
got the
better now?
operation. Sorry?
Yeah. And it's better now.
Yeah, he got an operation now.
Oh, good.
But it's been two full seasons where he's had issues with his wrist. So
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of cap come off his salary this year, which is gonna help him.
So
Because he also has Carter Hart's contract coming off. Another 3.6.
yeah, but Carter Hart is your number one goalie right now, as much as I don't like the guy.
Oh God, this is. I am disgusted that he's still in the league, and I'm not suggesting the league should kick him out. To kick out Carter Hart, not
Not Nick.
not the GM of Colorado. But like, look at where this guy is. Like, he's not going to be playing this year. He's not going to be playing next year. Like,
He won't be playing the year
Let's
after
just-
that or the year after that.
well, we can't assume that he's going to be found guilty, but I don't think the trial is set to start till June or later.
26, I think it is.
It's going to be a long time. So,
Yeah. No.
so like, let's just move on from this guy. Like, I don't know. I don't like being reminded that these 5
Hmm.
people, or how
Yeah.
many is it? 5 that are
But
up
this
right
is-
now.
This
Five.
is his last year in the league.
Well, I know, but
That's all
I'm
there,
just
yeah.
saying maybe the
Yeah.
league should have removed the 5 guys
Yeah.
from the. But that's I mean I'm not saying they should. I'm just maybe they should.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to the
depth
depth
chart.
chart. I love the top line.
His top line's pretty, yeah. I think it could be probably one of the best top lines in the DCHL.
I love his top 2 lines.
Sure. Although I've never been a big Anders Lee guy.
Yeah, if it was me, I would probably swap Lee and Peter Goudreau, but
So, but like if you look at it, I'd put Alla on left wing and Goodrow at center with Johansson. But you know,
and in my opinion, I think Matteo should be a third liner at max.
You want Amadio on the third line?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. I like him where he is actually, but I'm surprised that Boris Kachuk is even rated at 76, to be honest.
so
But like this is like I like the top 2 lines. I like the defense. I don't like I don't like the 4th line, but I mean it's a 4th line. Who cares?
yeah, yeah. If you're waiting to win because of your 4th line, you're in trouble.
And there's always a trade you can make.
Your biggest issue is improving your 4th line, you're in really good. You have a really good team.
Exactly. I'm just disgusted by who the goalie is, and when I do my ranking for the division, it will reflect my disgust for who the goalie is.
Well, I guess Steve's putting Colorado at 8.
No spoilers. No spoilers. We need watch time here. You don't know how YouTube works.
I know, eh?
We're trying to make millions of dollars at
Will I
this.
get the like 2 cents that we'll make on this show tonight?
Yep. We'll give you a
Cut of
cameo
it?
fee.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have Jean's portion for tonight.
You can put
Yeah.
that towards some DCHL cash because I need it.
I know,
Okay,
eh?
yeah, no, sorry. We're not going there. Giving you DCHL cash. Okay, so Dallas, right at the cap, like holy cow, not a lot of cap space there. 25,000.
$25,000.
Yeah, not a whole lot of cash either. So
But
they're going to need to make the playoffs this year,
yeah,
and that's going to be a tough order in this division. So,
absolutely.
so Team Future, I will say, well, as we're talking about Team Future, they do have one of the best young all-star level forwards in the league, and we'll talk about him in a second. But
You know what? For a team that has been um at the top of the league in the top 10, he's got some decent prospects here, and like Bichelle, Danielson, Anzek, Mollendijk, Gahan is a good prospect goalie.
yeah, he was one of the ones I liked. So
So
taken a little early though in the
Same
first
with
round.
I got Mr. Dominic DiVincentis, if I say that properly.
yeah, so he's got some decent prospects.
Not awful, not awful.
It's not bare. The cupboard's not bare.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll move right ahead to finances. Brad Marchand coming off the books, 10 million. I think you'll miss that one.
Yeah,
But nothing really
Trouba's coming off the books too for him. 4 million.
Jacob Trouba.
Yep.
Oh, Trouba must be retained. Yeah,
Yeah, he
someone's
is, yeah.
retaining on Trouba.
remember the
The
Look
Flack,
at all
Calendar
yeah.
Oh, the do me a favor trade that Black's got.
and Pittsburgh.
Yes, the shenanigans.
Yes.
Funny Flax. I know you're watching. I know you're watching. How come you've never said that it wasn't shenanigans, or Flax?
Yes,
You
he
know
did.
why?
He said it.
He said it was shenanigans.
No, it wasn't.
It
He
wasn't.
sent, I thought he sent a message while we were doing our show,
Oh,
but he at least sent me the message.
maybe he sent it to you and not me.
Yeah. So
Did he send it in French?
no,
Because I
That's
probably wouldn't have read it.
no. So
Okay. Although him and I have texted back and forth in French. I do have to sometimes Google Translate.
well, I don't text in French even though I speak it all the time.
Do you
It's
speak
just-
French more often at home or English?
At home, well, my wife doesn't speak French, so
So more reason why you should speak French sometimes, John.
when I'm trying to get her going, I might be French.
You get in trouble for less things if you only spoke French.
But
Okay,
I've
not
worked,
only do we talk hockey here, but we also give tips for being married for long periods of time.
I know.
Zach, you're writing all this down, right?
Yeah.
Okay, learn another language, Zach.
So I like this team. This is he's got a lot of IN players,
I like
and
this
he's
team
got
as well.
a lot of young players coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Jarvis, Johnston.
Didn't set his lines though, or his depth chart.
No, he didn't.
Well, it's somewhat done. But yeah, no, yeah.
But it's
But I mean, Robertson, Marchand, and Brian Rust on your top line. That's actually a really good NHL line too.
yeah. And
Like that,
Jarvis,
that's
Johnston.
Jason Robertson's a 100-point guy with those three on a line.
Mm-hmm. And the D is pretty decent also. It's not all world, but they're decent. They're good enough.
Yeah.
There's a lot of depth at goalie, but there's not, to me, it's not the same quality goalie that the top teams in the DCHL have.
Yeah, no, and if this team falters and misses the playoffs this year, that's the direction where I would point.
Yeah.
And just say. Although, do you sit like he's got Mackenzie Blackwood and Casey DeSmith? Who do you run with?
I think Blackwood. I think
Blackwood, to me, Blackwood had one bad season in New Jersey, and well, he was hurt, then he came back. He had a bad season. Last year, he was healthy again, and he was keeping San Jose in games.
I think he was like really good on an absolute shite team.
Yeah,
and if he was on a good team, he would have had a really good year.
So, Blackwood, the sim likes Mackenzie Blackwood. So
I've seen them out together actually.
Gives them good games, but I still think that's the weakness of the team is the goaltending, not the depth, just the top end.
See, I'd run with Mackenzie Blackwood as well, I think. But here we go with Minnesota. Minnesota, they made the playoffs last year. Like they barely made it in, right?
Yeah.
They were an interesting case, like this year for me looking at. I like them. I just maybe wasn't. I was surprised that where I found their weakness. I was surprised that was their weakness, and we'll talk about it when we get there. But a lot of payroll space,
a lot of cash,
like cap space, and a lot of cash. Holy crap!
Yeah, that's isn't that left over from him winning the cup a few years ago? And his team has been decent, so he hasn't had to spend cash and.
Yeah, he's not a big player in free agency.
No, so how else do you spend money? Except in trades, and he doesn't make a lot of trades. He makes some, but he's not even definitely in the top half of the teams that make the most trades.
He's not like, say, a Zach or a Nathan.
I've never made a trade before.
No.
You've never made a trade with him?
Well,
or you've never made a trade?
Who, with Jake? No, I've never. I made one trade with Jake. It was done. We're not even going to talk about it.
Okay, so team future.
Yes,
he does well drafting. I will say this, like he might not draft guys that I necessarily am in love with, but he does well with guys he drafts. He puts a lot of thought into it and effort into it. So, and he was a Gleb Trikazov guy, and I know a lot of people are.
And I'll tell you, he's very patient with his players.
I'm not.
Very patient. And he's not on his team anymore, but the Canadians former first round pick that they took ahead of Tkachuk there.
Oh, Jesus, don't even.
John, do you have to
talk about that?
Miami. Yeah, he had him on his team for years, and he would not. I was like, get rid of.
I was so happy when Ottawa got Brady Tkachuk that year.
Oh man, that was the worst draft I've seen in my life.
So, pretty good prospects. I think, like we've said on a couple other guys, that he's although he's continuously a playoff team, although he missed it a couple years ago, I think. He's still got a pretty good level of future players coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, finances. How much is Mikko Rantanen going to cost him?
Probably cost him a lot.
I think it's still the same contract. It's like
is it?
He's I think he's 9.5 in the National League. Still.
Let's take right here. Let's see here. He is 9.2.
He'll be happy to get Kanev off the books.
He's 9.2 right now.
Zach.
Yeah.
We can barely hear you. I don't know about Steve, but I can barely hear you.
Oh, here, that's by here. I changed the size of my headphones. That's why. that better?
Now that's better.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
Ratanen's 9.2 in the NHL.
yeah,
Okay,
So-
so happy to get Brandon Tanev off the books. Ricard
Yes.
Rakell's only 3.9.
yeah,
It just seems like a low level. He must be coming off a RFA deal or something.
yes. Did you notice his defensemen? They're coming up.
What do you mean
Thomas
that are
Harley,
coming up?
Owen
Sorry?
Power, and
Oh
Alex.
yeah. He's got he's got he's got some guys, that's for sure. And Kuznetsov too.
Yeah.
I think you liked him back in 2020.
Yep.
But no, he's got good young talent. Like his team is not going away.
No, yeah,
It's gonna
he's gonna
be
be he'll be a good team for a couple years still.
a perennial
And more.
contender. And we'll look over at his depth chart. This and one other line would be in contention for top line in the division.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like we'll talk again. We haven't gotten to this team yet, but this is scary good. The top 6 here is scary good. Even top 9. I will say this, I was surprised that his D wasn't stronger.
Well, it's going to be good. It's going to be awesome next year and the year after.
Yes.
Because Hartley, Power, and Vlasic are going to be awesome, and Zamula and Schneider should improve. Mickey Anderson is still improving, so like in 2 years, I don't know if Marino and McCabe are still going to be on his team, but like they're going to be the worst defenseman that he has.
Owen Power might be one of the lowest, like most underrated defensemen. And
Yeah.
Alex Vlasic might be one of the most overrated defensemen.
Well, when you play your top pairing for your team, you're going to get rating.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
true.
surprised that it's not higher because he was the top pair defenseman in Chicago with Seth Jones.
Yeah, but I'm not a big Alex Vlasic fan. But this might be the best goalie tandem in the league, and I don't know how he can make it work.
I
Like he
think
might as well just give these guys 40 games each.
He's gonna trade one of those 3 between Levi, Thompson, and Demko. He's gonna have to.
Like Thompson and Demko is just like it's a starter every night.
He could, if he wanted to, he could trade one of those 3 and get himself a good defenseman to help his D out a bit. If he wanted to.
Well, I'm sure he'd be willing to trade one of them for Jake Allen. So
Oh, you never know.
you never know.
Hey, Jake Allen
Okay.
will surprise a lot of people this year. I'm telling you.
And isn't Dostal like fighting for the top job in Anaheim?
Well, I think he might be the top goalie in Anaheim.
Because
Gibson.
what's his name?
Gibson.
Gibson is no longer. I don't think like the salary's there, but they're probably going to be splitting the games, and he's got Dostal at 845 for the next 4 years.
Yep.
So.
Oh, I think Dostal's the starter going forward.
Yeah, I think it's time for Anaheim to move on from Gibson.
Okay. Anything else on Minnesota? Like I think we like Minnesota. I don't think anyone disagrees with that.
Very good team.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting conversation. Nashville. Neil, sorry you couldn't be here because I would have loved to have asked you some questions tonight about your team because this is an interesting. He's got cap space.
Yeah.
He's got cash. He's got assets that he can move. Like this is a guy that like I could see his team being very different 2 months from now.
Well, can we? And we're gonna change that over a little bit for this team, because let's go to finance right away.
Okay.
He's gonna have to do something this year, in my opinion,
Yeah.
because
I just don't
unfortunately,
think I don't think he has it to do it though.
Johnny Gaudreau is coming off his team next year. Unfortunately,
Yeah, rest in peace,
Unfortunately.
he's
Johnny.
coming off. Dumba's coming off. Eberle and Klingberg, they're not going to be huge losses, but losing Pulak and Susie, like they're depth players, but he doesn't have any players coming up that are going to be replacing those guys. So, in my opinion, he's losing next year. Three of his top players is number one goalie, one of his best defensemen, and two of his top three defensemen, and
His
one of
number
his
one
best
goalie.
wingers.
He's losing his number one goalie too.
So
I think it's what you're saying, and from the sounds of it, I think I really agree with you that this is a go for it
if there's a go for it
roster.
year, yeah, I
Like
think so.
you got all the pieces, and this was what I was talking earlier about. We'll go to his depth chart since his top line is like you could say it's the top line. It's one of the top lines in the league, let alone in this division.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, because Marner would be there instead of Eleno, obviously, but yeah. It's pretty
Marner, McKinnon, and Gaudreau is redonkulous. Like it's and you look at that and you go, okay, well, this is a team that, like, when you have a top line like that, that's more than a point per game on average. Like you've gotta,
So
you're in every game.
and he's got like a decent. I think Riley is underrated in his rating.
Yeah.
So his defense is decent, and he's got awesome goaltending.
Yeah.
So, and he's got depth. He's got cap space. He's got money,
And he's got assets.
If we go back to his prospects,
Yep.
he's got his first round
all his
pick.
picks.
He's got all his picks.
Frank Nazar is going to be a good center and center wing wherever they decide to put him in Chicago.
So, like, he's got some decent prospects coming up. Like I said, he doesn't have a lot of guys coming up. Like Frank Nazar and Tsiplikov could be on his team next year, since they're supposed to be in the NHL right now. So, but that's two guys. So that you're expecting to replace your top three guys. So
well, my thought would be like, and if I'm the GM, and I haven't thought about this as much as I'm sure Neil has, but if I'm the GM, my first thought is go for it this year and then do a rebuild. And it doesn't have to be a tear down rebuild, but it can be a ship some of the guys out for some picks, and maybe you're only 1 year,
but
only 1 year of paying, as
I
opposed
would
to
not trade away I would not make trades for guys that are going to be UFAs at the end of the year. Like I'd want guys that have a couple of years left under contracts, because you want to still be competing while you have McKinnon, right?
Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah, I'm suggesting like you put all in for this year with when I say all in, I don't mean do a
no.
trade away everything, but you go all in, you acquire some talent, give away like maybe not your first round pick or maybe your first round pick, depending on what you're getting. And you're not like he's not starting off with nothing. Like he's got, like you said, Frank Nazar. He's a decent middle six forward probably.
It would have been
in
better
my
if
opinion-
he's still a Kachuk.
And in my opinion, if he acquires two top six forwards and a defenseman, he's gonna be like really good.
But what's that going to cost him though? That's the only thing.
Again,
Well,
Zach, we
but-
can't hear you.
But what's that going to cost him though? That's the only thing.
Well, but he's got what we're saying, Zach. I think is you're right. It would cost, but he's also got like he doesn't need to necessarily trade Frank Nazar, but Cole Baudouin.
Yeah.
Like he's got
Dylan
got
Duran.
guys.
Dylan Duran is a, goalie prospect. So I'm just saying he's got the potential to do something.
There's an opportunity here.
He has an opportunity. He has an opportunity to do something.
Yeah.
Because I think his team is good enough. Like he's not there, but he could be.
He's and I just from the sounds of it, I think we have him about the same place in the rankings. Okay, so after Nashville, we move on to St. Louis. Oh. What's funny is this might not be the worst team in the league, but this team might finish last in the league because they're in a hard division and there is a clear gap between them and the other 7 teams in this division, in my opinion.
Yep.
And they
Well,
don't have a lot of cash.
Let's remind everybody that they won the Stanley Cup 2 years ago. So
Yes. Our dream, their reality.
if my team could be in the situation that he's in, I think we're better.
Oh, I trade a lot off my team to
Hey, Zach,
if I could guarantee myself.
how much would you give to be able to win the Stanley Cup? Would you be willing to suck for a few years?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, here, actually, there was I did send Max a trade offer a while ago, but he did say no to it. It was Stamkos, Cowan, Beck, my first in 27, second in 2026, and second 2027 for Matthews. And he said no.
Stamkos,
Stamkos, Cowan, Beck, first in 2027, second in 2026, second in 2027 for Matthews, and then a third in 2025.
What like that's always interested me. Why do people always like and then you give me one other pick? Like
Yeah, that's him in there.
yeah. To me, that's not enough. I think
yeah, you're
Austin
talking
Matthews is one of the top.
he's the
4 or
top
5
goal scorer
guys.
in the league.
He's the best scorer in the league. And you've got him for the next 6 years, I think. So.
Yeah.
I've tried.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah,
You don't get anything if you don't try.
Maybe-
that's true.
Maybe you need to put Owen Tippett on the card really to tip the balance in your favor. Okay, so these are the prospects. He hasn't been big on drafting. He's got Zane Parekh, who I think was his only draft pick this past
Yeah,
year.
but he didn't even pick it though. It was a BPA.
No, he
sure.
sent in a list. He
Oh, did
did
he?
send
Okay.
in a list.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the best player available, but it was also on his list. I think his list was give me the best defenseman available.
Yeah, it was.
I think that's what his list was. So yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Zane Parekh fan, but we'll see. I'm not going to knock a guy that went where Zane Parekh did. Like, what did he go like 10th in the league, 9th in the league? He went to Calgary.
And they had 9.
To 9th to Calgary.
Yeah, so I mean, he's obviously a talent, and there's a lot of potential there, but we'll see. Okay, we'll move to if you guys want to stop me at any point, just let me know. But we'll move
No,
to
no, no.
finance.
So to finance.
Austin Matthews, and there is going to be a big hit financially on this contract.
16.7, I bet you.
Yeah, he's got $5 million in cash, and he's going to have to re-sign Austin Matthews.
Dude, that's why he should give him to me. Come on now, help him out here.
You've got even less cash.
Hey, I can buy cash into the year. We're good.
You can buy cash. Yeah, but you need the cash for January, dude.
Hey, don't worry about it. I'll buy it in January then.
Okay. But you don't have Austin Matthews, which is the other problem.
You don't have a.
Uh, yeah, I mean he's got these guys that are gonna get paid.
But
Even
he's a bit,
Kasperi Kapanen's gonna get paid.
nah, I don't think he's gonna get paid that much. He hasn't really done nothing.
To me, like, well, he's gonna have Noah Anafin is gonna get a $9 million contract.
Yeah. How are you gonna pay for Noah Hannafin? And you're just gonna have to go with whatever the calculator gives you, and that's gonna be huge.
Dude, that's why I think it was me. I would try and move Matthews and try and get a good haul for him.
See, the problem with moving Matthews though, and is you're never gonna get like you're if you tank your season and trade Matthews, what's the first thing you're gonna want to get?
A first round draft pick, yeah.
A guy like Austin Matthews.
No, I
Like,
think I think he's gonna have to start rebuilding. So I know you guys are gonna think I'm stupid for mentioning this, but I think Flash could be a good option for this because Flash has a lot of good young guys and some picks. So he
Yeah,
could.
I
so
don't
he-
think that's a
he
stupid
could
idea.
he could flip him to Flax. I know Flax is gonna want more than he's gonna ask a lot more than what he should be given and whatnot. But I think if there's a team there that had enough depth not to get Matthews, I think it's Flax.
okay,
Yep.
but this is a guy that's worth like 5 or 6 first round pick equivalencies minimum.
Mhm.
So no, okay. So if I was Max now and looking at Flax's team here, so I'd be asking for both the Columbus and the Boston's first sets there, and Will Smith would have to be in there. Let's see what else. And probably Jacob Fowler, another a goalie prospect, and probably plus some. But Flax won't give that though.
No, okay, but because Flax tries to crush everybody on every trade. And
I
yes,
know.
Flax, I know you were listening when
And
I
that's why
said
I'm
that.
saying that Flax wouldn't do that because
But
Flax.
but my point is like I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying the problem you have is if you're a guy that's tanking and you trade away a guy like Austin Matthews, you're the first thing you're trying to get is a
Is
guy
Austin.
like Austin Matthews, which you already had, so you didn't need to trade him.
So okay, but that I think what Zach is saying is you look at the St. Louis Blues. Okay, he's got Matthews, Buchnevich, Anafin,
And that's
and
it.
Dobson. That's it. And he's got Yuko Pekka-Lehkonen.
And he has no prospect. So
And we already said he has no prospects. So he's got 5 players. He doesn't even have a full line. He's got 5 players because his goalie is part of his team. The rest of his team sucks. He doesn't have anybody coming up.
I guess I'm unleash that when you can.
So and if he doesn't have anybody to trade away to try to get better, so the only thing that he can do to try to acquire asset is to try to trade one of his 5 guys. So how are you going to acquire the depth and the potential players that you're looking to get that you need to, because you need 20 players, right? Plus you need prospects and you need, guys are coming up. So do you trade Dobson that you have under contract, under control for the next 9 years? Maybe to me, that's a no.
I say his
Right?
best bet's probably if it's me,
To me,
it'd be Austin Matthews.
You keep Dobson. Yeah, Dobson and Matthews are your best prospects, your best players, assets.
Yeah.
So you trade
But he's
Buchnevich.
got Matthews under control for the next 6 years.
Yeah.
But he has
And-
no cash though to do that right now, though. So I think so he's gonna have to try and acquire cash.
So to me, the only 2 other guys that he could trade is Anafin and Buchnevich. And how much are you going to get for Anafin and Buchnevich?
Well, I'd rather trade Buchnevich than Matthews.
So And the only thing Matthews does is it keeps you from finishing last. Because we all agree St. Louis is going to finish last in their division.
Well, but they still might finish last overall
Yeah.
with Matthews. This team might still finish last overall.
So I understand what you're saying. You're looking to get an Austin Matthews. Like that's the guy that you want. That's the guy that everybody wants. He's the best scorer in the NHL. Hands down. But you don't have anything else. You've got 5 assets that are value if you plus Zane Paret. So to
Yep.
me, it's like I'm with Zach on this one. You take your 4 besides Noah and Noah Dobson and Ukko-Pekka Lehkonen, because goalies are so hard to come by. The other 3, Matthews, Buchnevich, and Anifin, I think you try to get them traded. You try.
I don't think
much for,
I don't think he's gonna
and
trade
you
Matthews
don't.
though.
And I'm not saying you trade them. Like you go and get like 5, 6, 7, 8 draft picks, first round draft picks. You get you get tons of new prospects. Like
I think he should be getting at least 2 firsts, 2 top
For
prospects.
Matthews?
2, yeah, I think probably 2 firsts.
Oh my
2 top
God, he should be
prospects.
getting way more than 2 firsts for
Well,
Matthews.
But as Zach said, let's go with Zach Flax's team. He's got 3 first round picks. No, 2.
2. He has
First round
Boston
picks
with a
this year.
conditional in Columbus.
But
And
if he makes that trade, Will Smith is included in it.
I think Will Smith
was the 5th.
Well, if you don't get a guy like Will Smith, like there's no bloody point in trading
Exactly.
Austin Matthews. And Will Smith isn't Austin Matthews.
No, but if he gets Will Smith, Tom Willander, and Jet Luchenko, and
maybe Lane Hudson.
Matejchuk,
And Higgins.
and Higgins. But you know what I mean? He's going to finish last, and he's going to get, you get Columbus and Boston's first, and you know what I mean? Like,
But then he's spending the next, like, and this is again, like, and we're just going in a circle here.
Yeah.
And if he gets all that in a trade, like I'll be the first to say, okay, good, because he got a lot for Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
But
you don't trade him.
Zach's right in the. There's no bloody way Flax gives up that much for Austin Matthews.
Flax is going to offer Boston. Flax will offer Boston
Somebody,
second.
Maybe not.
Yeah, Flax will offer him a first round pick and a car ride to the mall.
So
and a car ride back.
And he'll want full retention, and he'll want $10 million, and like Zach likes to say, a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
No, but and it's just not like, if you're gonna make that trade, you gotta get a lottery. Like, you gotta win the lottery.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys in this league don't give up the lottery. Like, they don't give up. Well, certain guys in the league don't give up, like Flax being one of them.
But I think I agree with, like, to me, he needs to try. He needs to see. And you don't trade Matthews unless you get a Brinks truck backing up to your front door.
Well, you set the bar.
Yeah.
You set the bar of what you think it's worth, and ain't nobody lowballing you below that bar.
Yeah.
And if somebody does, you say, okay, forget it, I'll keep them.
I'll keep them.
You have to be prepared to walk away.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try at this point with him.
Yep, I agree.
Sure, but no way Flax trades. No way Flax trades 2 firsts, Will Smith, and
Hudson, I'd
nothing.
say
No
Hudson.
way. No way. Flax will ask for a first round pick. Okay.
But you know what? This is a good discussion, because it shows that, you know what, like these are the talks that we need to have. To me, I like this. To me, this is like what we need to talk about,
Sure.
guys. You know, is he gonna
Okay,
be
we'll look at his depth chart that he hasn't done.
so?
There's nobody playing. Fuck, he's definitely coming last now.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think the other option is if he doesn't trade one of those guys, is he's going to end up with no like finishing in the bottom of the division.
Now, if he doesn't, okay,
Next
no.
year.
So that's another thing I was just thinking of.
And bankrupt.
What if he doesn't trade or sign him and then lets him go to free agency and tries to get all that retention that he'd get, those first like the picks that he'd get if someone signs him.
So,
Anyway,
But-
let's move on. Let's move on.
on
I
another
mean,
note, Carter Yakimchuk just scored a beauty in overtime to beat the Leafs.
what they wait, what? They went to overtime?
6-5.
Oh, sweet. Okay, if I'm right, it's Utah that is the second last
Oh.
one.
Hey, you got it right, Steve. We all thought you were gonna say
You are
Arizona.
right. No, the third last. There's oh no, yes, second
Second
last.
last.
Utah and
Second
Winnipeg.
last. Okay, lots of cash, reasonable amount of cap space. Trevor always seems to be able to make deals, so like I'm pretty confident that this will not be his finished product this year.
I think, yeah. Nope.
Team future?
He doesn't have any outstanding prospects, but I think he's got some.
I think his best one would be
Potential.
Tristan Luneau.
Yeah, you didn't like Gulyayev though, too, right?
No,
He's like 5'10" or something like that defenseman. He's a smallish defenseman.
but I hear good things.
Tristan
Yep.
Luneau, you like Tristan Luneau?
Yes,
you?
I do. But he was sick last year, right?
Oh, Luneau? I didn't
He had
know
an
that.
infection of some kind, and he missed. He was at the World Juniors, and he had to go home because
Oh, he's the reason the spot opened up for
Jorian Donovan.
And my friend Ty Nelson.
Yes,
oh, Henry Muse. I actually liked Trevor's draft this year. I know we talked about that on the draft review show.
Yep.
Trevor had a good draft. I think Henry Muse, when he took him, was a good pick. So yeah, I mean, there are some assets that could easily be traded here.
Yep.
And I'm one of the teams you can trade him to, Trevor, because I liked Henry Muse, but
You have some guys that need re-signing here as Mabineers.
Provorov's back, eh? The Russians released him. Oh no, I'm thinking of
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the goalie,
Fedotov. No,
Fedotov, Ivan
Fedotov.
Fedotov. Yes.
yeah, Provorov.
Too many Russian names.
Yes, he's an average, good second pairing defenseman, and like Adam to Brodin, Parayko, Evan Bouchard. Do you know that I could have had Evan Bouchard, and I said no, I want pick number 15 instead in the draft when I made a deal with him.
Who did you draft at 15 though?
Fedor Sveshkov.
Svechnikov.
Sveshkov, a Nashville first round pick. He's in Tampa Bay right now. He's got potential, but not Evan Bouchard.
I know you were big on him though, Jean. You were big on him in that draft year,
Sveshkov,
2021, right?
Yep.
But Matty Beniers, Matthew Nyes, there's some good.
Oh. Okay. Oh, by the way, I drafted Matthew Nyes with the 61st pick in the draft that year.
And you traded him.
Yep. So trying to make it, wasn't being impatient.
He'll be the next Leaf player. I'm calling it now because Nick Robertson is clearly holding this mantle. That he'll be the next Leaf player that they all love, but now they want to trade him because he's not as good as they held him up to be.
Yeah.
And that was Nick Robertson. He was the greatest prospect in the league, and the Leafs stole him. And now they just signed him to a 1 year, $800,000 contract, and they're looking to trade him.
But you know why?
They-
Because they're comparing him to his brother, and they're like, "Oh, you're not as good as your brother." Well, no shit. Like, there's like 500 players in the NHL that are not as good as his brother.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So yeah, this is we'll just go right to the depth chart here. And this is
the best team in the league.
the
Any
class of the division.
division.
I
class.
think
class-
I'm predicting right now Utah wins the Stanley Cup in the DCHL.
That you're like spoiling McDude. We gotta keep the viewers watching.
Yeah, they'll still watch.
They
Come on.
leave. There,
No,
okay, there we can leave now.
The
No.
one viewer is just okay.
We
I'm done.
have
I
to
just
keep
heard
them.
Zach's prediction.
I get data from YouTube, and it says how many people are when people are leaving. And if people are leaving after you said that, you're never coming on this show again. We can't. John and I are. This is our living.
I know.
Sure, we have this hobby where I'm a swim coach and he works for Canada Post, but this is our job
Was that when my mail's late all the time?
Yep.
because we're
Exactly.
talking hockey. That's why your mail's late. No, this is like I don't know. I haven't compared it to Philadelphia, but this is this team is in the conversation for
Well, they
And
know-
you know what? I will spoil it also. I would not be surprised if they won the Stanley Cup. And I would not be surprised if they meet Philly in the finals. Because they are that good.
I think see, you know what, his team's good when he has Matty Beniers on the third line.
Yeah, but Matty Beniers was not good last year, guys. Like if
No.
you Matty Beniers struggled a lot last year. Like
Yep.
he was really good in his rookie year, but last year was welcome back to earth Matty Beniers year. Like
Yep.
he's due for a good year, and I hope he has one. But I think he's
in
overrated
Seattle-
in 83. He is
Every-
overrated in 83 based off of last year.
Yep. But everybody in Seattle had a down year last year.
Fair.
Even in the
Okay,
DCHL.
so- Yeah, I mean, there's not a weakness on this lineup.
The only weakness is his backup goalie. And Spencer Martin is a really good sim goalie. So if there's
Okay.
a place that he could improve, I think it's his backup goalie. That's the only thing. The only
Okay,
place.
so moving to Winnipeg. And right now in Korea, it's Randy's probably just getting up and going to work. So morning, Randy.
Yeah. Yeah, since he's in the army, he's 5 o'clock in the morning, so he is getting up.
Or he's been
And he's logging
shooting
on to
down
watch
bags
our
of
show.
poop floating over the border. Okay, lots of cash, lots of cap space too for a team that is certainly in contention for a playoff spot.
Yes. And they are, yes, even though my ranking is not very good, they are in contention for a playoff spot. Absolutely.
Okay, so team future. Randy's a guy that drafts well. He certainly doesn't draft the way I do. Like he's not. Him and I don't value players the same. But he's had success in the past. He drafted Moritz Seider, for what it's worth.
Yep.
And he's got some.
Him and
I
Steve
was big on
Eiserman
Philip Bystedt.
saw the potential before everybody else.
Yeah. He
I-
drafted Ben Danford this year, and I think people are going to be surprised about Ben Danford.
Yep.
Rutger McGroarty. Wow. Okay. So he's got some good prospects, and there's good future potential here in Winnipeg. But we'll start the interesting conversation now.
He has some RFAs that need signing, Connor and Bozer.
Yeah, he's got tons of cash, so that's not a problem for Randy. He's got like
No.
60 million in cash or something, 50 something million.
And he's got cap space. So
Yeah. He runs a very good ship here in Winnipeg.
yeah. The only thing that he needs to do is Cal Pedersen.
He needs to get rid of that, right?
Yeah, he needs to get rid of that contract. And the thing that sucks for him is that contract would be off the books, but he got called up by the Flyers and he played one game last year in the NHL.
Seriously, doesn't that suck?
It's like it wasn't even 10 like players. It was one
Yeah.
game. That's all you need for goalies.
Okay, so depth chart. Randy has done his depth chart. The guy is defending the South Koreans from invasion, and he still has time to do his depth chart. Shame on you other teams in this division who didn't do their depth charts.
Yep.
Unless you were being attacked by North Korea, you should get it done. Okay, like I want to hear you guys tell me why this isn't, because you guys seem to be in agreement. And I think this is one of the better teams in the division. I know Jean is going to say Cam Talbot, but then after that,
I will tell you, I think he's at center, he's weak at center. I think he's very good on the wings. I think he's weak at center. So to me, he doesn't have a number one center. He doesn't have a number one center like a team that you're expecting to be at the top. But get me right. If Winnipeg makes the playoffs and they make it to the third round of the Stanley Cup, I'm not going to be surprised. Okay. The Central Division is extremely tough. From like, I think I have one team at the, well, we already said Utah is a class of the division. I have St. Louis at the bottom. And then from 2 to 7, you put all the teams in a bingo with bingo balls. And if you told me that Winnipeg finished second or even first in the division, I would not be surprised.
I think
Well, I'd be
first is
surprised
pushing it.
first because I think Utah is just
Yeah.
that much better.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you told me they finished second at the end of the year, and I have egg on my face because I have them much lower than second, like seventh, then that's like I'm gonna be, yeah, you're right. Like I have egg on my face. And to me is the depth at center and his goaltending. He's got the weakest goaltending in the division, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
the weakest goaltending in the division,
Yep.
Carter Hart. I challenge that. Like Carter Hart,
Okay, Carter Hart is not
and that's
second weakest
Colorado.
goaltending in the division because he only has Talbot. Like that's it. Look at his goalie.
Yeah.
He's got Cam Talbot.
Who's overrated, but
Overrated. So to
he's
me,
got a 2-year contract, dude. Like in a year from now, I can agree with you, but
that's Zach. What do you think?
That's not probably saying that yeah, he's very weak on center. I think his center definitely needs some upgrading. But yeah, I don't have them in the top 3 in my opinion in the division. I think they're going to be right in the middle of the pack. I think.
okay. Well, this is probably a good place to start and do our divisional ranking since we're done anyway.
Yeah.
And I think last week we went from the bottom up. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't have.
So do we have last week we let the guest start
Yes.
us off. So we'll do the same this week.
You wanna go
You
from the
tell
top
us
or the
who your
bottom?
number 8 is.
Bottom.
My number
Start
8
from the bottom.
is the St. Louis Blues.
Okay, I think John and I both agree with that
Yep.
as well.
Completely agree.
And there's like, in my opinion, there is a big gap between them and the rest of the division.
Yeah.
And based off the strength of the division, they could be in contention to be the worst team in the league
Because they're playing a lot of games against those very good teams.
against really good teams.
And then they're playing a lot of games against another very good division in the West.
Yeah.
So
Not saying they're worse than Toronto, but conceivably they could finish with a worse record than Toronto.
Yep.
Okay, 7. This is where it all starts to get interesting,
Okay.
folks.
Yeah, I made one change earlier and I forgot that I made a change. So go ahead, Zach.
7, I have the Chicago Blackhawks.
I have the Carter Hart Colorado Avalanche.
I have the Nashville Predators.
Wow. So 3, Jean, this is like the most different we've been the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, Zach, 6.
Number 6, the Winnipeg Jets.
Winnipeg Jets. Do you want to go?
Go ahead. I went first.
I have the Chicago Blackhawks.
I have the Winnipeg Jets. I have zero confidence in their goalie. And he could fix it because he's got the assets to be able to fix it and the cap space. So, and he's a good GM. So there's no doubt in my mind he's going to fix it. And again, if he finished second, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay, 5.
5, I have the Nashville Predators.
Same. I have Nashville at 5.
I have Chicago at 5.
Interesting, because I really think that the top line in Nashville is going to the impressive top line is going to counterbalance the and goaltending too will counterbalance and be an advantage over.
I agree that the goaltending and the top line is just awesome, both of them. But I think he's the team that has to do the most to finish second.
This is why we wanted Neil on tonight, because there were lots of questions that we wanted to talk about.
So
And maybe we'll try to have Neil on next week to talk about the Pacific. But okay,
Yeah.
4.
4, I have the Colorado Avalanche.
Boo. I say Dallas.
So do I. The Dallas Stars.
Okay. Number
3?
3, I have the Dallas Stars.
Minnesota. Although I could go, you could talk me into Minnesota over Winnipeg very easily. I have Minnesota at 3.
And I have Colorado at 3.
Number 2, I have the Minnesota Wild.
The Winnipeg Jets.
I have Minnesota.
And then I guess we can also, and I'm pretty sure we all know who number 1 is.
Utah.
The Kraken, what? Yes.
Okay, so like that's all we have on that. Next week will be the Pacific Division.
Oh, I can't wait.
Hopefully we're on next week. If my wife has given me COVID, I may not be available next week to do a show. We'll have to see.
Just for everyone, the NHL is 2 weeks away. Regular season, 2 weeks away.
Get your damn homework done that Ian needs done so that I can get my preseason games in so I can decide who my 4th line winger is going to be. Titan Hunt or Valtteri Puustinen.
Yep.
Get her done, people. I have important decisions to make. Do I put Peterka on my 2nd line or my 3rd line? Like, come on, I need
And it looks
preseason to
like,
make these decisions.
and it looks like Ian has done a full sim too of the site, so any trades that have been pending?
Oh, did you see Peterka's hat trick last night?
No,
I posted the video today. Like,
He looked
I
good.
know it's preseason,
He
but
looks good.
it's a good sign when your young guy scores 3 goals.
That is true.
It's a good sign.
That is true.
absolutely.
And Damon Hunt, a defenseman of mine, scored last night, who I'm hoping I am going to need him to make the Minnesota Wild this year out of camp. There, he's checking out. Did you see that? He was checking out Morgan Geeky's butt again. Everyone, just rewind back about 20 seconds. You'll see it, or you'll never unsee it again.
I think he's watching. He was watching Nikita Gribokin fighting at Adam Gannett.
No,
Um,
I saw it.
No, I
It's
have
right
the,
there. It was
I have the
turning
Chiefs-
around and
I had the
staring
Chief and Falcon
lustfully
game in the
at
background.
Morgan Geeky's butt.
There's a lot of money on stake right now here.
so,
Is it $67?
Nope.
Are you sure? Because number 67 just not right there in the top of your head.
No, it's $425 I can win.
nice.
I assume it's 67 because that's Morgan Geeky.
I just need I just need the no-show Travis Kelce to get a touchdown, then we're good.
Okay, so are we good, boys?
We're good.
I think we're good.
Okay, I am gonna say goodbye to the DCHL and good luck this year to you guys in the Central. Beat up on St. Louis as much as you can. Maybe he'll be forced to trade you Austin Matthews for a first round pick, but you'll have to give up a third as well.
And
So
if Flax ends up trading for Austin Matthews, I think Flax you owe a few dollars, DCHL dollars to Zach because he came
like
up
real
with
estate agent fees, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
that.
sure.
He's a broker.
Yes.
He has 100 and something. He has 105 million. The fee's 100 million there, Flax.
Well, he never pays for anything. He gets everybody to
know.
pay for him.
That's it. He
Maybe
can-
when you go to the hockey game with him, you'll be paying for him too.
Yep.
Okay, so I am logging off and we are saying goodbye. Say goodbye, boys.